Hey guys, today we are going to set up an NextJs authentication using NextAuth and GCP. I have created a directory using this command and using pnpm. These are the uh, uh, options I have selected. After that, I have just cleared out the page.tsx file and placed a empty div over here. Let's move this, and in the app directory, create a folder for as components. Inside the component, I will place navbar over here, and export function, and just returning. Here I will just create the navbar for now. Flex justify between, so in both ends it will be stayed. Its name is Shoda auth for now, and here I will create two button. One is login or log out, and I will sign in. And it will have a class, say margin to amazing tailwind. So wait, global CSS. Let's remove all this thing. After that, padding of 2, red 400. Let's copy this, paste. Uh, After that, we have to place the navbar over here in the page.tsx file. Then let's hit the terminal. pnpm dev close 3000. See, this is the basic navbar we have just done, and after that we are after that we have to just install NextAuth. So I'll just type NextAuth, go to NextAuth.js, get started, and here I have to install this one. Let's start a new terminal. I'm using pnpm, so this is pnpm. If you use npm, we have the npm over here. After it gets installed, um, next step is to use it, right? We need to use a session provider. So for that, here we see we have a path for pages router. We have to use this, but for app router we have to use the guide over here. Copy this one, and inside your app directory create a new directory known as this. So it will not support. Trying to create an API. My bad. API. What was the name? API auth. Okay. API auth and next. Can technically keep it anything apart from NextAuth, but for simplicity we are just keeping NextAuth over here. And it said that we have to place a route.ts file. Inside this ts file, just copy this thing, paste it. Okay, so uh, we have to use something known as a provider, and for that provider we are using Google, the OAuth and email for getting the email from the user, but we are using Google provider. Here you can find GitHub also. Not going to use GitHub right now, but where is Google? We have to place this thing inside our uh, next auth over here, inside the next auth, and make sure to import Google provider. Wait, Google. Hmm, just import it from over here. And for client ID and client secret, uh, we need to create a environment file in the main root directory with the name over Google client ID equals to and Google client secret, like this. After that we have to since it's showing some error, string is undefined, it's not a single string. Okay, so we have to just, this is for TypeScript error basically. Just uh, keep an empty string over here, it will stop the error. Okay, all right, so now let's open GCP, because we have to use GCP for getting our uh, Google authentication consent. Inside that, you have to search for OAuth. You will find the credentials under API and services. Create a credential and click on this. Request user consent so your app can access the user data. Using this, you can we can use the Google's service provider. Uh, for web, we are using web application. Let's name our web application sure auth. And this one for we are since we are using this local host, we have to paste it over here. And if you have a domain and you have the project assigned into that domain name, you can just deploy that domain over here and it will automatically work. For now we don't have any domain, so we'll just leave that for now. For authorized redirect URLs, go to NextAuth. You will see this one. For development purpose, use this one. For production, you can just use a domain and just copy and paste that over here and just click create. It will create. Copy the client ID, go to your in environment file, paste that over here, uh, go to the client secret and paste that over here. uh, After that, we have to go to our nav bar. This section is done. um, Nav bar, and since we have to use the on click method for sign in, just use the arrow function over here, and I will use the sign in method from NextAuth slash react. Actually it will be sign out, and similarly here it will be on click arrow function sign in from the NextAuth. And since we are using a hook over here, we need to make this component as client. And also after that, uh, we need to use a session provider over here. So because we are using the session to know if the user is logged in or not, for that purpose we have to use that. And from NextAuth we are importing that. And for this we have to wrap this thing inside wait, we have to wrap it inside a session so that we know that if the user is if the session data is already present, and the so that means the user is already logged in, so we have to show the login button, sign out logout button. And if the user is uh, not logged in, we have to show him or her the sign in button, so that the user can sign in, right? Doing this. Okay, now since we are using a use session, we need to use a provider dot JSX file. This is mainly done due to um, NextJs authentication, and it is a good practice if you keep everything inside a provider, so it will not um, disrupt the condition of your layout.tsx file. So under that thing, we are going to use export function provider return session provider from NextAuth, and under that we will just pass the children. I will show you what I am doing. Here we will pass the children over here, and over here we have to just give the React node over from react.react node, and I think to make it use client. Yep. And after that we have to go to the layout.tsx and wrap the children inside your provider, because if we make the layout.tsx file as a use client component, it will just be very inefficient, because it will not support your server side rendering, and only client side rendering will be supported, which is very bad for production projects. So provider done, and I think it's good to go. Let's see. I refresh the page. Sign in. We have a sign in button. Click the sign in button. You can see this is my name of the app. I have a logout button as well. If I log out, I will see the sign in button. So that's it for me. This is how you can use NextAuth and GCP to get your authentication system ready in running in a very few minutes. Thank you.